I look at the area which I presented today in my speech, I wouldn't call it only an industry, I would really refer to the bioeconomy as a sector, which indeed links various industries, starting from the production of biomass and food from agriculture, and then of course looking at non-food applications as well in the industrial biotech. And if we look what has happened within the last years, I think one trend is very clear, that we understand now better the need to have a coherent view on these various parts of the bioeconomy. So we don't any longer look at just in kind of separation to the biofuels or food or bio-based materials, but we realize that these are really just different sides of the same puzzle, if you wish, and we cannot solve one without looking at the others. In short term, the challenge is really to create a more coherent policy framework as well. As I said, we have indeed already, I think, taken a good step forward, at least creating this understanding that issues would be looked at together. But now the next question is to have also policies which would be well integrated, to have funding schemes which would be integrated. And this is definitely one of the steps we see from European side that needs to be now put in place for bioeconomy. If we talk about bioeconomy, what we have in mind is an economy which has as one component a strong but sustainable and intensive agriculture, which can produce both the food we need as well as the input to bio-based industries. And secondly, we have in mind, of course, the processing sector itself, which should be low carbon, which should use the best biotechnologies we have at hand to reduce the environmental footprint. And thirdly, we look at the need to also close the loop and have this recycling in place, reduce the waste and use the waste actually as input to bioeconomy. And from this angle, of course, the ongoing discussion on the CAP, the Common Agriculture Policy Reform, is very essential. Indeed, agriculture should provide both the food security as well as input to non-food industries. And of course, the policy framework should put the basis for that. Biotechnology is one of the enabling technologies, but it needs to be applied on something. So now when we look at the applications, we are, I think, realizing more and more the great potential of biotechnology in delivering on some of these challenges we have. We look at the oceans, for example. We know how much of the resources of the oceans is still unexplored. We don't even know what we could get out of these resources, all the microorganisms, for example. We look at, again, the tremendous amounts of waste we generate, which could be recycled, which could be reused as input. And again, biotechnologies could be of great importance. Or we look at some of the environmental questions, again, where biotechnology could bring some solutions and help with, for example, spillage of oil or cleaning up some soils. There are aspects which we haven't, I think, so much realized before, or which public at large has not seen as coming from biotechnology before. As to the European level itself, clearly there is ambition now, and you have seen the Commission already putting forward the new flagship on Innovation Union. You have seen the strategy for Europe 2020 recently adopted, which among other things also calls for creating European bioeconomy. And we are indeed working on that so that by next year there will be a new policy framework in place.